Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. It's been a little bit here. I apologize. Once again, a little impromptu break has happened here. I think I've missed 3 videos in a row here. And I apologize. Just life has been all over the place. I'm not going to talk about it a ton, but just scheduling and timing, and I am staying so incredibly busy. But I'm here, and we're gonna see what Zur has this week for us, huh? So let's. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. So this week we do have the Orpheus rig for hunters. We have a grenadier archetype, which is not terrible. I think for Orpheus I would have preferred the tertiary to be in class, but overall this is not bad. We also have Caliban's hand. You have the bulwark archetype on there, and again, the tertiary is not in fantastic spot. I do think that I know that there's another archetype. Obviously, there's the one that is just, it's just the melee is the most highest stat. But there's another one that combines like melee and something else. Is it melee and super maybe? I can't remember. Still don't have all the types wrapped up in my mind. But I would probably pass on Caliban's, I think. Up next we have Dune Marchers. It is again Bulwark, but we do have melee as our tertiary this time. Once again, if you're really building into Dune Marchers, I probably would want more melee. But if you're using this in PvP, which I don't know if a ton of people still do or not, but if you are, this is actually a really solid roll, I think. I think this is the highest total stat an exotic can be right now. And health and class with a melee tertiary on Dune Marchers, that seems actually pretty decent. We also have for Titans the Precious Scars, in my opinion, a very underrated exotic. And we have the Specialist archetype, superclass and weapons. Let's see. I think that tertiary and everything might actually go pretty well with that. That might be one you can actually build into. Up next we have the Prometheum Spur for Warlocks. And I don't know why I just immediately right-clicked. Health melee class. Class is tertiary is nice. Okay, Brawler. Brawler is health and melee. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that Brawler is super synergistic on these legs for what you want to do with them. Boots of the Assembler. We have Gunner with health as our tertiary. Again, just not the best archetypes for most of these. There's a couple that stand out a little bit, but most of them don't have the better archetypes that they could have. Lastly, we do have Relativism. And of course, this is going to be your exotic class item. It will change depending on which class you sign in on. Relativism, Solipsism, and... oh god, what's the... my brain is saying Cynicism, but I don't think that's it. What? Relativism, Solipsism. Why can't I think of it? Hang on. We're gonna do a little... let's see. Is it Titan? No, Titans are solipsism, right? Stoicism. Yeah, that. Duh. Okay. For our strange offers, got raid banners this week, probably worth a pass, but we do have basketballs. And for our gear offers, we have Hawkmoon, which I'm pretty sure can still be pulled from collections right now, but we do have Snapshot, and we do have Textured Grip, which is decent. Alloy is just the only thing that you have, and Poly is not bad. I think for me, I would want full bore on it just to make it a little bit more rangy. But this is, if you don't have a better Hawkmoon, this is definitely a really, really solid option. We also have the Monte Carlo for our exotic weapon number 1, and our Merciless for exotic weapon number 2, and Thunderlord for the last exotic weapon we have. All three of these are actually really, really solid picks depending on what content you're doing, and have kind of remained in the spotlight to some degree for a long time. For catalysts, this week we have the Crimson Catalyst and the Fourth Horseman Catalyst. Once again, both of these are really, really solid and definitely worth a pick if you do not have any. True Prophecy, a hand cannon that I always liked despite not being a hand cannon fan, but I could never get a good roll of it. But doesn't look like today will be the day that I get one. It is Grave Robber and Demo. Incredibly mid combo in my opinion. But we do have Tac Mag, Extended Mag, Steady Hand, and Fast Draw. Up next, Warden's Law, another hand cannon that plagued me when I was trying to get the god roll. Now, I know a lot of people probably will say I'm just being goofy, but genuinely, if you're one of the people who can use these in PvP, Perpetual and Rampage with a max range roll, or by going with Arrowhead, whichever one you prefer, actually a really, really solid PvP roll. This thing is not going to break the bank or anything. It's not going to be meta ever, I don't think. But I think that they are not as bad as people like to say that they are. And I personally enjoy using them in PvP quite a lot. Up next we have Liturgy. We do have Disorienting, Perpetual, and Desperate Measures. We also have Proxy and Hard Launch. So this is an okay roll. If you just are looking for a top slot blinding nade, this is going to be fine. It's not going to have that chill clip, spike nade, super duper hot swap combo that everybody wants on it. But this is not a bad roll of this grenade launcher. Up next we have Truth Teller with Grave Robber and Quick Draw. We do have Spikes, Volatile Linear, Proxy. This is another one that I'd probably pass unless you're doing some sort of hot swap shenanigans in PvP, and even then I probably really wouldn't care for this roll. I just think that there's other better grenade launchers for that kind of stuff. First in, last out, Pulse Monitor and Eye of the Storm. We do have Appended and Tac Mag, as well as Poly and Full Bore. Honestly, this could have been an okay play if this was not Eye of the Storm. Like, if this was a damage perk, Pulse Monitor is a lot more handy than most people gave it credit for. But that being said, it is Eye of the Storm. And in PvP, I don't think anything else on here but Eye of the Storm is going to be useful. That'll probably be another skip for me. Horrors Least. This might be one that I pick up, actually. Zen Kill Clip, Flared Mag, Poly. That might be a pickup. I farmed a decent bit for this, and I just never got a good roll of it. No matter what I did, I just could not get a good roll, and that's actually pretty solid. It's not adept, but it is solid. Memory Interdict, let's see, Impulse, and Wellspring. You do have Spikes, you do have Smart Drift, You have handling. If you're looking for a PvP GL in your heavy slot, this will be okay. I think there's better roles of this for PvP, and I think there's definitely better roles of this and other GLs for PvE. But if you just need something to throw in, this one has Impulse and Spikes, which is really what you're looking for. And the Handling Masterwork is a nice little bump as well. Up next, we have the Slammer Adept. We do have Eager Edge, Chain Reaction, and Demolitionist on here. And we don't have Jagged, but we have Honed, which I believe... No, Tempered. I think Tempered is the next best. We don't have Sword Master, but the sword perks themselves are actually pretty solid. Eager Edge and Demo is a nice combo. I think the one that I saved was Eager Edge and... Eager Edge with a swap off to Relentless Strikes and then Bait and Switch. I think that's the one that I have saved. And yeah, that's just a real nice one. But I know a lot of people don't use this because Falling Guillotine exists, but I like to have different options. And I really like the Slammer. I think it's a fun sword, and I think you should give it a try if you don't have one. And last but not least, we do have the Faithkeeper Rocket Launcher. Once again, I think these weapons look so cool, but all of them besides one or two really were just kind of mid. Both in their archetypes and in the perks that they could roll, and just in general. They weren't, I wanted to like them more than I wound up liking them. And for this one specifically, we do have Frenzy, but we are paired with Danger Zone. We don't have any impact casing. We do have high velocity rounds and quick launch, which are both okay. And we have a range masterwork for some reason. But I do believe that this is a craftable weapon, if I'm not mistaken. Unless they have done something to that. So if you want to get this rocket and make one yourself, go ahead and get a couple copies of it. I think it takes 5 to craft it if you're starting from 0. So pick up a handful of copies and use some resonance on it. And before you know it, you'll be having yourself a brand new shiny rocket. And with that, I do think that we are going to wrap up today's video. Thank you for coming and watching if you did. I apologize once again for missing a few weeks. Life has been crazy. If you've watched any of my most recent videos, you'll know that there has been some stuff going on, and hopefully you guys can understand. But I appreciate you all as always. I'm not going anywhere intentionally. I love you all to death, and thank you for coming and hanging out with me today. Let me know in the comments if there is anything that jumped out to you in Xur's inventory. And before you go, be sure to leave a like and drop a follow and leave a comment. Say something. Give me feedback. Ask for something to be shown off in another video. You know, whatever tickles your fancy. But with all of that being said, I love you all, and I will see you guys next week. Have a good one, Guardians.